Hey guys, and welcome back to another Gran Turismo 7 video. So, as you may know, for the past year or so, many people have made their own wish lists of cars that they want to see added into Gran Turismo 7. But no one really tried to predict which cars will actually be added next. And that's what I'm basically gonna be doing today. Instead of making my own wish list, which is definitely gonna be fulfilled in the future, I'm gonna try to predict which cars will be added next into each brand. And it's really simple actually. I'm gonna be going through every single brand in the game, except for one-time editions, and I'm gonna try to predict which car will be added next into each of them. And also, if you don't agree with my prediction, that's totally okay. You can submit yours in the comments if you want. Anyways, without further ado, let's get on with the prediction. So first off, we have a Barf, and if I have to be honest, I don't see any other car being a bigger possibility than the Grande Punto from GT6. Not really much to say here. For a Fila, I feel like once the 2026 production model actually comes out, it'll be added into the game pretty much instantly, just like the Mark V Supra was. For Alfa Romeo, I feel like it could either be the Giulia Sprint Special from GT4 through 6, or the Pebble Beach winning 8C2300 Zagato. And if I have to be honest, this could really go either way. For Alpine, as much as I would like them to bring back the A310, I honestly think they'd rather prioritize the A442B. For Aston Martin, the most likely addition will probably be the Vantage from 2018. Either that or bring back the 2006 DB9. For Audi, given that all the obvious picks have already been added, I'm sure the 2002 RS6 Avant will be the next addition to Audi. And as much as the Quattro S1 rally car is also an option, I don't really see it being more likely than the RS6 Avant. For Autobianchi, I predict that the next addition will be the A112 Bertone concept. And as unlikely as it is, I don't really see anything else going for this brand. For BAC, I honestly think the Mono S will be the next addition. It may be a boring pick, but for now that's all this brand is really going for. For BMW, it's really difficult to pick which car will be added next from the 5 data mined ones. Those being the E60 M5, the 2002 TII, the 507, the Z4, and the 2002 Turbo, all of which have a very even chance of being added if I have to be honest. For Bugatti, as much as everyone would love to see the EB110 or the Devo, Polyphony would probably prioritize something like the Type 37A more. For Chaparral, it's either the 2D or the 2E. And it would be pretty difficult to guess which one would be prioritized more. For Chevrolet, I mean, come on, they gotta bring back the C5. It's the only version of the Corvette that we don't have in the game. But other than that, the Chevy Nova also seems pretty likely, given what types of cars have been added into this brand. For Citroën, as much as I hate to say it, the Ami seems like the most likely addition. For De Tomaso, there isn't really much going for it right now, but if I had to guess, it would probably be the P72. For DMC, it's definitely gonna be the original DeLorean. Stage 1 DMC-12 from 1981. And I don't see any reason why that should change. For Dodge, there isn't really any data mined cars for it other than the Challenger Demon, which is already in the game, but in my opinion, the 2008 Viper ACR seems the most likely. For Ferrari, there are a few likely options, but I'm just gonna go with the safe option and say either the 599 or the 812 Superfast. For Fiat, there's not really much to say, other than the fact that the next addition has to be the Coupe Turbo Plus. I just don't see it going any other way. For Ford, given that they already added the Roadster and the Sierra RS500, this would be a perfect opportunity to bring the RS200 back. Either that, or they'll probably add the Ford Fiesta for the meme. which I hope they don't. I would talk about Genesis, but the car I predicted for it has already been added into the game. So moving on to Honda. And for this one, all I can really do is guess. And my guess goes towards the classic Civic and the CRX SIR. For Hyundai, I know this probably won't be added, but the 2013 Veloster Turbo. Not much to say here. For Infiniti, we may or may not get the G35 from 2006, or as I like to call it, the American not Skyline. For Jaguar, out of all the leaked cars, the C-Type just seems like the most likely option, along with the 1948 XK120. For KTM, there's not really much going for it in general, but I guess the Crossbow GT4 seems like a likely addition. For Lamborghini, now that we got the Gallardo back, I think the next most likely addition will either be the Murcielago SV or the Reventon. For Lancia, out of the three unlikely additions, the Rally Spec Delta Integral seems the least unlikely. For Lexus, there isn't really any cars that are top priority right now, but I honestly think the next one will either be the 2020 RCF Track Edition or the 2022 IS500. For Maserati, given that we already have the MC20 from 2020, it would also make sense that they would add the MC12 from 2004. And I don't think any other pick from Maserati will be as likely. For Mazda, it's very difficult to pick between the Autozam AZ1, the second generation Roadster, the third generation Roadster, the Mazda Speed M2, or the fourth generation Roadster RF. And just like the BMWs, they all have an even chance of being added into the game. For McLaren, it's really difficult to pick between the Artura from 2021, the Speedtail from 2019, or the 765 LT. For Mercedes-Benz, I don't really see anything being more likely than the 500E from 1991, as adding the other leaked cars will result in a lot of licensing issues. For Mini, there's really only one car going for it at the moment, that being the 2024 electric Mini Cooper. Now, as much as I hate DLC cars being redundant, I don't really see any car being more likely than the Evo 8 MR. For Nissan, we already have 9 R35 GTRs, so why not make that 10 with the OG 2007 Nissan GTR? I mean, come on, it's the car that started all of this GTR BS. For Pagani, it's really difficult to pick between the brand new Utopia or the Zonda C12. Both are very likely to be added next, but which one will be added first? Only Polyphony can decide that. For Peugeot, anything but the Pikes Peak 208 seems extremely unlikely. Yes, even the 905 doesn't seem as likely. For Plymouth, it's really a three-way tie between the GTX, the Cuda, and the AAR Cuda. For Pontiac, given how unlikely this brand is to get new cars, if there is gonna be a returning Pontiac, it's gonna be one of the two GTOs, as the Pontiac vibe is not gonna return for obvious reasons, and the other two Pontiacs are concept cars. For Porsche, it has to be the 911 Turbo S from 1993. And even though there might be other Porsches which are just as likely to be added, I don't think Polyphony prioritizes them at the moment. For Radical, just like any other brand that has only one car, it doesn't have much going for it. But if this brand does get a new car, it'll most likely be the RXC Turbo from 2015. For Riamemia, after years of being present in Sport and 7, it's finally getting some attention. And by attention, I mean the addition of the 2006 Asparadrink RX-7. For Renault, as much as I would love the Aventime to come back, I honestly think the R5 Turbo rally car has a higher chance of doing so. But maybe one day they'll both be added, who knows. For Roof, we already got the RGT in the 1.49 update, so I highly doubt we'll be getting another one anytime soon. But if we are getting another one, it has to be the Yellowbird. That car is the literal definition of a fan favorite. For Shelby, if I had to guess which car would be added next, I honestly think it'll either be the Monaco King Cobra or the Series 1 from Gran Turismo 2. For Skoda, as of right now, it's a three-way tie between the Kodiaq RS, the Octavia RS, and the Superb. But of course, things may change later down the line. For Subaru, I didn't even have to think about it for more than 5 seconds and I already have my answer. The Subaru Impreza. Specifically the 2010 sedan version. For Suzuki, there's really only one car going for it, that being the original Suzuki Jimny. For the vacuum cleaners, I honestly have to say, by the time they complete their Vision GT project, the sun would have already exploded. So I guess the only other option is the 2008 Roadster. For Toyota, come on, how the frick did the Celica 1600 GT not get added yet? Not really much to say here. For TVR, the Tamora seems like the most likely candidate. For Volkswagen, it has to be the Golf Mark 5 GTI. And for Volvo, I'm guessing the C30R design from 2009. And overall, that is my prediction. And if there are any adjustments you would make to the list, let me know in the comments section. And just a disclaimer that this video doesn't confirm anything about these cars being added. It was all done for fun really, and because I was shocked that nobody has made a GT7 video like this before. And to share my thoughts about what cars I think will be added next. Anyways, now I'm gonna go wait for the next GT7 update and see if my prediction was accurate. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time.